Do you try to create a narrative conceptually with an album as a listen, you know, in terms of completing that project? Is there a through line?
I was watching a Nick Cave interview the other day where he was saying that there's only 3 topics. Which, you know, it's sort of true when you boil it down, you know. I mean, you can talk about love in various ways. Maybe you can talk about religion. What else can you talk about?
There is one other thing, but we can't remember it right
now. Death, maybe. You can talk about death.
Yeah, death. We're closer to that.
But you know, I think that a lot of my songs, I think you once said that, you know, I've written the same song over and over and over again.
But he does it really well. Yeah.
Well, since Sounds of the Universe 2009, you two took time with other projects, Soul Savers and VCMG. And I wonder how that helped your process as it relates to Depeche Mode.
It helps me immensely. I mean, I didn't expect that project to happen. It wasn't something that was really planned, and it just kind of happened. And I didn't intend on writing or anything. We finished the Sounds of the Universe tour, and you know, we're all exhausted. Went home, and I kind of made a choice, like, I'm not going to do anything work-wise for a long time. And then about a month later, I started writing some stuff with Rich from Soul Savers, and really with no idea of where that was going to go, but it definitely, for me, it led me into writing with Kurt Unlader, a friend of mine in New York, who had been recording vocals with me for Soul Savers. We started actually collaborating on stuff in between doing Soul Savers stuff. And then those demos became songs that are now on this record. So I find that working with other people, which is just for me, outside as well, in between, has strengthened my kind of like wanting to come back with the Depeche stuff and use my voice in a different way, or it really helps me.
We'll also give a little background on VCMG, because this is you collaborating with Vince Clarke, an original member of Depeche Mode.
Yeah, it was quite a surprise for me, the whole project, because I hadn't seen Vince for ages. We weren't particularly close. You know, he was really only in the band for, what, 18 months, maybe less?
Something like that.
And, you know, he was really Andy's friend.
Was. No, he still is.
Yeah.
Still is.
And, you know, so I was really surprised when I found an email from him one day. And Vince is just really, it's funny because he tweets all the time, and everyone thinks he's really, really talkative and really, you know, he's not. And, you know, I just got a really short email that said, thinking of making a techno album, interested in collaborating? Vince.
After 25 years, you know, you expect a little more, but...
I mean, I like techno. It might be quite an interesting thing to do. So I said, yes, Martin.
Now, Martin, you co-produced this album, is that right?
No.
No.
That was the original
That
plan.
was the sort of
The
original idea. Well, the truth is, when we first did get together, I guess last January or something?
Something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that. We went to Mark's place and, you know, listened to the songs. You know, I came with a few demos, and Mark had all his demos, and we just kind of sit and we listen. And Mark's demos were so well produced. He really worked hard, and they were so well crafted and everything. It was kind of like, I'll go sing them, and you know, let's do a bit of mixing. And it really was, you know, it felt a bit like that. But what struck us, I think, most, if I speak for Fletcher as well, was there was a feel about the demos that was, it really kind of was exciting and felt fresh and not so kind of, not cluttered. The songs really like came out, and so we didn't want to mess with that too much. So once we decided that we wanted to get Ben Hillier involved again, it seemed logical, and then he just kind of took over, as usual.
But one of the things I think is great about the album is, in the title as well, Delta Machine, is this sort of mix of blues and electronics, which we've dabbled with before in, say, Personal Jesus, and I think it works really well with this album.
Can you talk about the song Always on the album, which I like a lot, and was just curious on you know, how you approached that particular song?
Quite a lot of the songs on this record have a lot of modular synths involved. It was something that I really got into for the making of this record, and I think that really helped to shape the sound. I think it does have a particular sound, and I think it's quite different to our other records. And funnily enough, Heaven, the lead single, is really not very representative at all of the rest of the sound. But so for a lot of them, I would start off with like you know, like a bass line and create some drums and some effects with the modulars and start from there really, and then just start singing along. That's what I do. I'm sorry. And when I sing along, I don't sing along like, you know, little, you know, pretend words. When I sing, then sort of words just come out. A lot of people do that, you know, like singing, you know, strange languages or whatever. But I always just start singing.
I do. I sing gibberish sometimes, but then I'm a long way behind Martin as a songwriter, so I'm still in the phase of writing. But actually, I really know what he's talking about. That's the first time it ever happened to me was during the Soul Savers thing. Like, words came out, and at first I was afraid of the words, and because I didn't know why they were coming out, and then I just decided to go with it and always be ready to record as soon as I heard, say, some chords that had been sent to me or a piece of something. I was ready to record it because something was going to happen. Something about getting yourself out of the way.
Let's give our thanks to Depeche Mode, our guests.